2 Chronicles chapter 6. Then spoke Shalom. Yahweh hath said that he would dwell in the thick darkness, but I have built thee a house of habitation, and a place for thee to dwell in for ever. And the king turned his face and blessed all the assembly of Yisrael, and all the assembly of Yisrael stood. And he said, Blessed be Yahweh the God of Yisrael, who spoke with his mouth to David my father, and hath with his hands fulfilled it, saying, Since the day that I brought forth my people out of the land of Mizraim, I chose no city out of all the tribes of Israel to build a house in, that my name might be there. Neither chose I any man to be prince over my people Israel. But I have chosen Jerusalem, that my name might be there, and have chosen David to be over my people Israel. Now it was in the heart of David my father to build a house for the name of Yahweh the God of Israel. But Yahweh said to my father, Whereas it was in thy heart to build a house for my name, thou didst well that it was in thy heart. Nevertheless, thou shalt not build the house, but thy son that shall come forth out of thy loins, he shall build the house for my name. And Yahweh hath performed his word that he spoke, for I am risen up in place of David my father, and sit on the throne of Israel, as Yahweh promised, and have built the house for the name of Yahweh the God of Israel. And there have I set the ark, wherein is the covenant of Yahweh, which he made with the children of Israel. And he stood before the altar of Yahweh in the presence of all the assembly of Israel, and spread forth his hands. For Shlomo had made a brazen scaffold, 5 cubits long and 5 cubits broad, and 3 cubits high, and had set it in the midst of the court. And upon it he stood, and kneeled down upon his knees before all the assembly of Israel, and spread forth his hands toward the skies. And he said, O Yahweh, the God of Israel, there is no God like thee in the skies or on earth, who keepest covenant and loving kindness with thy servants that walk before thee with all their heart, who hast kept with thy servant David my father that which thou didst promise him. Yea, thou spakest with thy mouth, and hast fulfilled it with thy hand, as it is this day. Now therefore, O Yahweh, the God of Israel, keep with thy servant David my father that which thou hast promised him, saying, There shall not fail thee a man in my sight to sit on the throne of Israel, if only thy children take heed to their way, to walk in my law, as thou hast walked before me. Now therefore, O Yahweh, the God of Israel, let thy word be verified, which thou spakest to thy servant David. But will God in very deed dwell with men on the earth? Behold, skies and the skies of the skies cannot contain thee. How much less this house which I have built? Yet have thou respect to the prayer of thy servant, and to his supplication, O Yahweh my God, to hearken to the cry, and to the prayer which thy servant prayeth before thee. That thy eyes may be open toward this house day and night, even toward the place whereof thou hast said that thou wouldst put thy name there, to hearken to the prayer which thy servant shall pray toward this place, and hearken thou to the supplications of thy servant and of thy people Israel, when they shall pray toward this place. Yea, hear thou from thy dwelling place, even from the skies, and when thou hearest, forgive. If a man sin against his neighbor, and an oath be laid upon him to cause him to swear, and he come and swear before thy altar in this house, then hear thou from the skies, and do, and judge thy servants, requiting the wicked, to bring his way upon his own head, and justifying the righteous, to give him according to his righteousness. And if thy people Israel be smitten down before the enemy, because they have sinned against thee, and shall turn again and confess thy name, and pray and make supplication before thee in this house, then hear thou from the skies, and forgive the sin of thy people Israel, and bring them again to the land which thou gavest to them and to their fathers. When the skies are shut up, and there is no rain because they have sinned against thee, if they pray toward this place, and confess thy name, and turn from their sin, when thou dost afflict them, then hear thou in the skies, and forgive the sin of thy servants and of thy people Israel, when thou teachest them the good way wherein they should walk, and send rain upon thy land, which thou hast given to thy people for an inheritance. If there be in the land famine, if there be pestilence, if there be blasting or mildew, locust or caterpillar, if their enemies besiege them in the land of their cities, whatsoever plague or whatsoever sickness there be, what prayer and supplication soever be made by any man, or by all thy people Israel, who shall know every man his own plague and his own sorrow, and shall spread forth his hands toward this house, then hear thou from the skies thy dwelling place, and forgive, and render to every man according to all his ways, whose heart thou knowest. For thou, even thou only, knowest the hearts of the children of the Adam, that they fear thee to walk in thy ways, so long as they live in the land which thou gavest to our fathers. Moreover, concerning the foreigner that is not of thy people Israel, when he shall come from a far country for thy great name's sake, and thy mighty hand, and thy outstretched arm, when they shall come and pray toward this house, then hear thou from the skies, even from thy dwelling place, and do according to all that the foreigner calleth to thee for, that all the peoples of the earth may know thy name, and fear thee as doth thy people Israel, and that they know that this house which I have built is called by thy name. If thy people go out to battle against their enemies, by whatsoever way thou shalt send them, and they pray to thee toward this city which thou hast chosen, and the house which I have built for thy name, then hear thou from the skies their prayer and their supplication, and maintain their cause. If they sin against thee, for there is no man that sinneth not, and thou be angry with them, and deliver them to the enemy, so that they carry them away captive to a land far off or near, and they shall return these things to their heart in the land whither they are carried captive, and turn again and make supplication to thee in the land of their captivity, saying, We have sinned, we have done perversely, and have dealt wickedly. If they return to thee with all their heart, and with all their soul in the land of their captivity, whither they have carried them captive, and pray toward their land, which thou gavest to their fathers, and the city which thou hast chosen, and toward the house which I have built for thy name, then hear thou from the skies, even from thy dwelling place, their prayer and their supplications, and maintain their cause, and forgive thy people who have sinned against thee. Now, O my God, let, I beseech thee, thy eyes be open, and let thy ears be attentive to the prayer that is made in this place. Now therefore arise, O Yahweh God, into thy resting place, thou and the ark of thy strength. Let thy priests, O Yahweh God, be clothed with salvation, and let thy holy ones rejoice in goodness. O Yahweh God, turn not away the face of thy anointed. Remember thy loving kindnesses to Dawid thy servant.